Today we got something different for you today. This is something I've been actually looking forward to doing for a very long time. It's Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I got the expanded edition, Blood and Wine, as you can clearly see on my screen here. This is one of my favorite games of all time, period. I play it all the time, at least like once a day. Trust me, I know almost everything about it. I love the graphics, love the artwork, love the story, gameplay, just literally everything. I love customizing my horse. Literally, I fell in love with customizing Roach. I don't know why. I'm addicted to it. Anyway, I am about to show you one of my favorite parts in the entire game as a whole. It is the actual rescuing of Ciri from the Isle of the Mist, followed by the actual battle with the Wild Hunt. I actually did it in a way so that you have all of the companions, all of the extra people that can come to your aid in the hunt and the battle itself. I made it so that you made sure that Letha was still alive at the end of the second game. I made sure that Roach, what's his name, Zoltan, of course, sorry, I'm just a little excited, I'm a little hyped, because I've been wanting to do this for so long. I made sure that everyone's coming through to aid us and helping our daughter. But right now, I figured I'd, go to the Isle of Mist just so that, we all get a little recap of what's going on for all of those who don't really know Witcher that well or haven't played the game or seen the show on Netflix to really get all the characters and everything. So I figured I'd start from the Isle of Mist so that way you get a recap of the story, and then we go right to the battle, get all tons of action. So this video is going to be a little long, so if you can, right now, go get some popcorn, grab a drink, make sure you're comfortable because this is going to be awesome. So please, if you like what you see, leave a like in the comments below, like and subscribe, tell me if you want to see more Witcher stuff. I'd be more than happy to make it for you. And anyway, without further ado, let's hop right in it.
The curse that held him up proved hard to lift, but Yennefer and the Witchers managed to do it. The ugliest man alive revealed himself to be not man, but elf. And an elven sage at that. Avalach, for this was his name, was the elven mage who had helped Ciri flee the hunt, then hidden her away on the Isle of Mists.
Real quick, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. I wanted to show off my Witcher gear real quick for all those who love the Witcher gear stuff. I have my School of the Viper gear equipped. I have all the Viper gear equipped except for the boots. I went with the moon boots just because I love that solid black look. I don't know why. I could probably just get some dyes and dye the boots in the exact color, but I figured this was easier. I also am rocking my Radovix of Fourhorn? Yeah, Fourhorn. Radovix of Fourhorn crossbow. I have the Viper steel sword right now because I haven't finished the Hearts of Stone expansion yet. I have before, obviously, but I haven't finished it this time around because I'm doing things a certain way on this account. And of course, the best silver sword in the game, Aaron Knight. Basically Excalibur, basically, for all those King Arthur fans out there watching this right now. I have it's in my opinion like the second best armor set in the entire game you can get. I just love the design, I love how sleek, I love the colors of it, I love how it has the snake skin on the chest, I love the gauntlets. Anyway, I just wanted to show off my character real quick before I hopped right into the gameplay. Alright, without any further ado, let's do it.
Brought you your friend.
Sure. Let's hear him then.
Wake up.
I'm awake.
Gaspard! Stand back!
By the way, this is actually a reference to Sleeping Beauty. Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, actually. Sorry, my fault. I always get the fairy tales confused.
Muddled. A bit drowsy, that's all.
What of the others?
Found one near a monster's den. He was already dead, sadly. Saw another fall from a cliff.
Tragic.
Broke his neck.
Shite. Roderick told me to have an eye on the snot. 'Twas his nephew. Thanks for helping, and sorry I didn't trust you.
Oh, everything's gone wrong. What'll we do now?
Got a boat. You can leave with me, but I need to find someone first.
An ashen-haired lass?
Yes.
Oh, dreadful sorry.
What do you mean?
She's cold. Spirits left her.
Must have passed shortly before we found her.
Let's wait by the boat.
By the way, spoiler warning right now. Turn back now if you don't want to get spoiled on this game if you want to play right now. But spoiler warning in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. No, this was so heartbreaking when I first did this mission. Really, you don't know how many castles I did the first time doing this. I was so torn up. I'm like, no! This is freaking... Sorry, I'll stop interrupting. She was such a tomboy as a kid. I always found that adorable about Sirius, that she was like a total tomboy as a kid. I don't know why I always found that adorable about kids. We got our daughter back!
Guess not all of Vesemir's teachings have receded into oblivion.
A witcher can forget to eat, to drink, to breathe even. But a witcher never ever forgets to care for his blade.
Point of pride.
Yeah, I used to repeat that incessantly. Never tired of doing it either.
What creature was it?
Huh? Creature?
One that gave you the scar over your left eye. It's new. I don't remember it.
Souvenir from the Cockatrice of Spala. Another addition to the collection. Nothing special. Yours is healed beautifully, though.
Avalok. He prepared some special ointments for me. But that was before the curse gripped him. Wonder where he is now.
We lifted the curse. He's at Kaer Morhen, waiting for you.
Are you serious? You must be. You'd not jest about something like that. A nice thing to wake up to.
You trust him?
Avalok? He's not let me down to date. Not once.
Why exactly is Avalok helping you? Sages have never been fond of humans.
He doesn't do it for me. It's about my power. As if it could ever be about anything else. Avalok tried to teach me how to control my ability. He was also making sure I didn't fall into Eridan's hands.
Quick recap, Avalok is an elven mage. An elven mage are basically this completely, like, separate world of people, basically. All elves, they basically come to our world looking for her because she's a descendant of this queen. I forgot exactly her name at the moment because I'm just caught up in everything right now. But basically, he's basically trying to protect Ciri because she has control over this basic 1 in a million power that no one amongst his elven race has, and apparently only she can have for some reason. Apparently it doesn't appear among elves and it can only appear among humans. I don't really know, it doesn't really explain that. But anyway, that's just a quick recap. He's an elf. He's trying to protect her because she has a gift, and he was cursed at the beginning of the game. You'll find that out if you play it, but anyway. anyway, I'll jump right into it.
What's Aridin after? What's he want from you?
What everyone wants. Control of my powers. His homeworld faces annihilation. Eridin's decided to invade ours. Brilliant, wouldn't you say? Can't achieve much on his own, so he needs to bring an army. Except his navigators can't possibly move him and thousands of NL between planes. Their abilities won't allow it.
Whereas yours will.
Exactly. And if I die in the process, well, that's a necessary sacrifice.
Aridin, by the way, any Game of Thrones fan out there, are basically the Night King. He basically leads the other race of elves, basically, that are trying to invade our world and conquer it because they're trying to escape their already dying world that's basically about to be overcome by this thing called the... I think it was the White Frost or something? Yeah, it's the White Frost. And it basically is going to go into their world and freeze everything, which is why they're trying to escape into our world. And they need Ciri because she can open a portal large enough to basically transport all their army at once, whereas opposed to them where they can only come a few at a time. Which I'm going to make a separate video about, but anyway, I just wanted to recap. Basically, Aridin is basically the Night King. He has a large army of elven warriors who are basically the most evil, savage-looking people you'll see in a minute. And basically, he's out to conquer and destroy everything we hold dear in life. Anyway, let's dive back in.
How'd you ever start traveling with Avallac'h?
As soon as I'd left you and Yen on the Isle of Avalon, I found myself pursued. Aridin and his Red Riders were on my heels. I fled through many worlds, many times. They came very close to catching me once. It was then that Avallac'h appeared, out of nowhere. He found a portal, and took us to a world where Aridin couldn't find us for, perhaps half a year.
I think this is the Metal Gear Solid reference, by the way.
The world where Aridin couldn't find you. What was it like?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
People there had metal in their heads, waged war from a distance, using things similar to megascopes, and there were no horses. Everyone had their own flying ship instead.
Ciri, stop fooling around.
Told you wouldn't believe me. We should have stayed there.
So why'd you return?
I thought the hunt had lost my scent for good. I thought I was safe. Besides, I wanted to find you. You and Yennefer.
Homesick.
You were looking for us. We were looking for you. Times I thought you were just a step away. Other times, felt like I was going around in circles.
I'm not surprised. There were times I fled pell-mell head first and forward.
So tell me how it happened, step by step.
Aridin located us mere moments after we landed on Ard Skellig. Soon after, he and his riders surrounded us. I thought it was over, the end. Turned out Aridin had other plans. He produced the phylactery, uncorked it. A fog enveloped us, and Avallac'h began gasping for air.
That's how Aridin cursed Avallac'h, triggered his transformation into Uma?
Yes. He didn't wish to kill him. Humiliation, that's what he was after. But Avallac'h refused to succumb without a fight. He cast a spell that wrought havoc in the hunt's ranks.
And in a full half of a forest on Ard Skellig.
Yet it also gave us time to flee. Avallac'h opened a portal. I leapt in. He was supposed to follow right behind me, but something went awry. Impaired by the curse, he failed to reach the portal in time. We had agreed that if anything went wrong and we were separated, we would meet at his hideout in Velen.
But you failed to meet there.
Yes, we failed to. Once through the portal, instead of at Avallac'h's hideout, I landed right in the middle of Crookback Bog. I barely escaped the crones. And then there was the Baron. You know he took me hunting.
Crones are a group of evil
killed a
witches,
wild
but
boar
I'll
with
go
my
into them
sword.
later.
I heard.
A coincidence, really. I had no desire to hunt that day, but it felt wrong to refuse. I'd taken nothing remotely resembling a hunting weapon. I simply hadn't intended to hunt. I was wandering through the forest.
You're basically
breathing deep
Nightcrawler
air.
with a sword, so it's no big deal anyway.
Strange sound.
Could have brought a butter knife.
Unsettling.
Would have been fine.
Boar attacked you?
Mm-hmm. Big as a bison, and lumbering straight at me. And all I had was my sword.
More
Had
than
to
enough.
manage.
Did just fine, judging by how the Baron's men remember it.
Simple soldiers, the whole lot. But we got along splendidly. A shame I had to leave. Flee. But I didn't want to bring the Wild Hunt down on them. Apart from which, I knew by then the curse was progressing. So instead of looking for Avallac'h, I decided to find you and Yen.
So how do you even meet a man like Whoreson Jr.?
You and Yen
Whoreson
were
Jr.
nowhere
is
to
one of
be
the most
found.
notorious gangsters
I
in this
needed
entire
someone
game.
who could fix the phylactery. No ordinary craftsman would do. I needed a mage, one with extraordinary powers. Dandelion took it upon himself to help me. It was as if his honor depended on it. He arranged a meeting with
Dandelions
a
our
mage, but
best
it
friend in
proved
this
a
game, by
trap
the way.
set by the Temple Guard.
Failed to mention that.
Probably didn't want to worry you. Later, we learned the Guard did that sort of thing regularly, in the hope of nabbing anyone who collaborated with mages. We needed to find another way.
Sounds about right.
That was clear. Then Dandelion said he knew a man who owned a piece of Novigrad, as he put it, could do more than others. He was certain to know someone who could fix the phylactery.
Whoreson Jr.
Mm-hmm. I suspected it might not be the best idea, but I was desperate. I had no choice.
You suspected right. Whoreson was not the ideal partner in crime.
Damned simpleton got it in his head that we cheated him and kidnapped Dudu.
Who you promptly freed only to have to flee to Temple Isle. Great idea.
We hadn't planned it. Had no time to consider. We just bolted. I didn't even realize the guardsmen were driving me into a trap. Suddenly there I was, and I knew I had to disappear. At once.
And that's when you landed back in Skellige.
The shore of Hindisfjord. The first pleasant place that came to mind. Hjalmar and I used to swim there.
Wait, so you actually wound up there by accident? I thought you and Avallac'h had arranged something.
No, he simply sensed me use my power. Just as Eredin can sense where I am, where I travel. In fact, Eredin arrived soon after I did. His riders in tow. Once again, things happened quickly. Lofferton, the Hunt's attack, my flight. And then, dreams. Just dreams.
What did you dream? I've had nothing but nightmares lately. Pretty horrible.
Likewise, for the most part. In one, a monster grown from a stillborn child chased you. Ugh,
That's a reference to a
That was
mission
horrible.
earlier on in the game that actually did happen.
had a few nice dreams. For example, in one we sat around a fire, drinking good wine, and all around people danced and laughed.
Like that one a lot better.
Me too. But these dreams, and the others, ended in some tower. No matter what I dreamed, in the end, I would enter a tower.
Recognize it? Know where it might be?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. But there was something familiar about it. And something terrifying. The tower was stark and dead. But at the same time, I felt I had to enter it.
Did you?
No. Dreams all ended with me searching for the entrance. And the last time, instead of the tower, I saw your grizzled face. If not for the scar over your eye, I'd have thought I was still dreaming.
I was afraid you were dead. Found some dwarves here. Said they'd try to wake you, but you were cold as ice, and you weren't breathing.
And yet you came in.
Who listens to dwarves these days? Speaking of which, they're probably getting antsy. We should go.
Sorry I'm squirming, guys. Literally,
Got a
bad
boat on
back.
the beach.
Trust me.
Once we land, we'll head for
Usually
Kermora.
adjusting myself.
Horseback.
Right. Conventional means of travel. They're just better. Though a portal would be quicker.
And draw Eredin to us immediately. Rather not risk it. Besides, I hate portals.
I don't get that. Like, even if I, like, did get, like, motion sickness or something through portals, I'd still probably take a portal.
Damn.
And they
Listen,
jack my
we
boat.
gotta think of a way to...
Literally, they were not trusting me this whole time, and they take my boat. Love that boat, by the way. Love the work on the boat.
Get us
The
out of
Wild
here.
Hunt ship. Love
Know
it.
where we've gone.
I used to build a lot of Lego pirate ships.
They already do. Siri, take us home.
Alright, guys. It's time to get ready for war. That ship's gonna teleport to the Kaer Morhen. We're gonna have an epic battle, and woo! Just can't wait. Ooh. Let's do this. By the way, that's Vesemir. Basically the closest thing Geralt has to a father. He basically trains all the Witchers and is basically the oldest member of the Witchers left alive. Sorry. But yeah, basically he's Geralt's father, teacher of all the Witchers, and basically the Obi-Wan Kenobi of this game. Except, unlike Obi-Wan Kenobi, he actually gives good advice. See, this is why teleporting works.
Welcome back, child.
That's my girl, by the way. That's Yennefer.
My, you've grown beautiful.
No point standing around. Come on, time to greet the others.
You've not changed a bit. Any of you. All just like I remembered.
What?
Little sis.
My ex.
They're all here. Everyone you asked for help. Avalok's resting in the tower, still in pretty bad shape. No reason to do it out here. Come inside.
Damn, it's good to see you again.
I know, right?
Maybe I'll give you two a moment.
Triss, please.
No, you must have missed each other terribly. A minute's delay won't hurt anyone.
Fine. So, a minute, then we go? Alright? This is just a little awkward.
45 seconds.
Huh?
We've 45 seconds left. Well, 30 now. And then we throw the gauntlet at the Wild Hunt. So I beg you, use these seconds well.
Yen, I adore you.
No points for creativity, but for your candor.
People give
Time
Yennefer
to
such
go.
a hard time because she has like such a annoying and strong-willed personality, but I personally like her better than Triss. I don't care. Like, Triss is, in my opinion, cuter, but Yennefer is like the girl you marry. She's that girl you could actually have a relationship with. I feel like Triss is just like a little too immature. Alright, guys. Time to meet the crew that's gonna help us fight the Wild Hunt.
There's just not enough of us. It'll be a hard
Hunt will be here soon.
Head Dere is upon us. The final age,
My
the
boys from
time of the
Skellige.
end.
Ah, my favorite dwarf.
Bring all your tools with you?
Thought to myself, a battle approaches. Blades will need honing. Plate will need some hammering. That sort of thing.
Thought right. Thanks, Sultan.
Plan to top that by brewing some more Mahakaman mix. Shite so volatile you need but glance at it to set it off like a flaming fart. Very useful during sieges.
All right. We'll talk later, Zoltan. Great to see you in a good mood, Zoltan.
Glad you got her back here.
I certainly hope this gas will work.
It shall. We must just ignite it at the right moment.
And that hole, is that there for good?
We shall worry about the hole once it is all over. And now, step back, Master.
Fair point.
She's one of us, Geralt. No way we'll let him take her.
My boy Lambert, basically like brothers.
Any progress?
Just can't get this thing to fling a bolt. They'll sooner appoint me Hierarch of Novigrad.
Hierarch's basically a king.
Eskel.
Greetings, Wolf.
Alright guys, all those who played the second game actually, this is Roach and Vess, literally, huge storyline. Look up the second game if you want to know more about them, but here we go.
Glad to see you.
Set out alone, Vess tracked me down. Insisted on coming.
I ought to give you a hiding for not asking my help, but I took it all out in Roach along the way.
Ah, some old friends.
What's this horse son doing here?
We need him.
You might have forgotten what he did. I haven't.
All those who, little quick recap. Roach used to guard the former king of Temeria, basically. And the guy who just walked in is a former Witcher who basically saved Geralt's life, but also killed the king that Geralt was in charge of protecting. So Roach and him don't exactly get along on the best terms. It's a whole ordeal. You're going to have to look up the second game if you want more to do. But anyway, let's dive right back on it.
Gotta save Ciri, whatever the cost. And Letho's faced the hunt before.
I don't question his abilities. I simply don't trust him.
Letho won't betray us.
You're naive. Always have been. Usually I don't give a shit, but this time it could kill Vess and me both. Think this through before it's too late.
We'll stay and help. But we don't want him at our backs.
I love how they think that this is a time for past grudges. I couldn't kill Letho, guys. I'm sorry. Literally, he's the last member of the School of the Viper. Not to mention, he was just used like a pawn in the second game, so I didn't really see a reason for killing him.
Big fight ahead of us. How's morale?
Remember our encounter with them at the Hanged Man's Tree. We'll thrash him again this time.
Alright, guys. It's time to go to war. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. This is my ex-cure.
Greetings, Geralt. If I'm to die today, I wish to look smashing. Leave my dresser alone.
Getting all gussied up for the wild hunt?
Women only ever beautify themselves for their own satisfaction.
Glad you're here.
It's good to see you again.
Expected you earlier.
I started off heading in the opposite direction, but then turned around.
What made you change your mind?
There are times when a woman should simply not explain her decision. That goes doubly for sorceresses.
Explanation? I saved her life, helped her out of a tight jam, gave her the cure for the bubonic plague, and now she owes me one.
Kaer to your liking?
More so than Velen, but that's hardly an achievement.
Alright, guys. Prep time.
Get everybody together. Time to talk. Thank you for coming. The Wild Hunt will be here soon. They're coming for Ciri. Want to take her. We'll stop them.
How do you even know the Hunt will show?
They always know where I teleport to. And they move from place to place in an instant.
So what's our plan?
There aren't many of us,
Play it
but I
smart and
trust any
safe.
of you with my life. Work together and we'll defeat the Hunt. When they attack, Yen will dome the fortress with a magic shield. Hunt will be forced to land outside the walls.
If they're dispersed out in the woods, we could hunt down small groups of riders.
Got our first volunteer for the hunting party. I'm the second.
Count me in, too. Always believed attack is the best defense.
The Hunt will try to penetrate into the fortress through navigator portals. I can do nothing against this kind of magic, so you'll need to find and close as many as you can while hunting in the woods.
Lambert will make us dimeridium bombs. Remember the formula?
Of course.
Excellent. Erden should work on the portals as well. I shall also give you each an amulet. Snap them in half and you'll become invisible, at least while you remain still or move slowly. Move abruptly, engage any foes, clash with them, and they will see you. Apart from that, they will be able to hear you and smell you. If you come across a large unit, do not attack. Signal Triss and she will provide support.
I'll look for your signal. As soon as I see it, I'll rain fire on the forest.
Remember, there's only a few of us. We have to help each other, work together. If anything goes wrong and the Hunt puts us on the defensive, we pull back, make a stand at the gates of the fortress. The inner courtyard is our last line of defense. We don't stop them there, we're doomed. Ciri's most important in all of this. The Hunt's after her, and we have to defend her at all costs.
What do I do?
Stay inside the keep. If they break through, come inside.
I
We'll
ain't
all
touching my
converge
daughter.
to help you.
Out of the question. I can look after myself.
No one doubts that, child. But remember the most important moment.
Oh, I said you were
hunting a
Nightcrawler with
monster.
the sword.
Wait for an opportunity.
After the council, I'll give you an amulet. If you use it, a ball of fire will land where you're standing, just in case.
What else do we have that we can use?
Since you plan to ambush the Hunt in the woods, I could dig some trapping pits, blue stripe style.
Meaning?
Deep as the dark abyss, bottoms bristling with sharpened stakes.
I brought this Mahakaman mix. Flammable as bone-dry saltpeter and ploughing sticks to anything. We fill some barrels, stack them in a narrow passage, and fire them up at an opportune moment.
You know, we stand on a vast deposit of gas. If need be, I could open cracks in the earth, create explosions. I would need to prepare, though.
There's the laboratory and the workshop.
One thing to remember, we've got limited resources and even less time. We ought to decide what kind of weaponry will be most useful against the Hunt.
Absolutely. We need to assign one type of weaponry each to the lab and workshop.
Anyone have any ideas for the workshop?
Been wanting to fix that breach in the wall, but we'll need the same tools to clear the rubble from the armory.
Rubble?
Haven't you heard? Roof caved in a couple of years back. There's some excellent swords in there. Swords we could use.
Filling in the breach seems just as important. They come through there, the siege will be over awfully quick.
Patch up the
Fixing
wall.
the breach in the walls.
Definitely always patch up the wall.
Let's not forget the laboratory. I started brewing some potions. Like to finish, if you don't mind.
I could prepare more of those Witcher's traps, but I'd need all the lab equipment.
There aren't many of us, so we'll need to prepare as many traps as possible.
We won't have time to do much else. Everything settled?
Yes, settled. We don't have much time, so let's get to work.
Let's sum up. Yennefer will create a magic barrier to repel the main assault. That should push the opposing force into the woods, where Lambert, Geralt, and Leppa will be waiting. They'll use Dimeridium to close the Navigator's portals, stop as many warriors as possible from entering the fortress. Triss will be waiting for their signal, then give the riders hell. All others will repel any foes who make it inside the fortress walls.
If anything goes wrong, we abandon the outer courtyard, pull back to the keep. Remember, Eredin can't get his hands on Ciri. That's most important. Let's look at the map of the fortress, figure out the details.
Alright guys, I'm gonna break this part off into 2 parts, okay? That way you don't have to watch all this.
We've overlooked something important.
Don't think about it.
What's ready?
Haven't had much time to prepare, so not much, honestly.
I'm exposing you all to danger, unnecessarily.
You worry too much. Wipe that frown off your face, we'll make it.
Thanks. For everything.
I'll saddle the horses. Come once you're ready to head into the woods.
He's a prick, but trust me, he always comes through when you really need him.
You know my opinion.
Alright guys, this is where I'm going to break it off into the second part. I'm going to save the actual battle for the second video, so that way you guys don't have to watch this whole thing and basically get stuck into the whole recap thing. So I'm just going to pause it here. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching with me. I mean it, I hope you enjoyed this so far. Next part's coming up in literally 10 minutes. Just gonna finish wrapping this up real quick, okay? Then the next part's coming right at you. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this. I mean it. Leave a comment in the description below. Like and subscribe if you want more of this. And please tell me if you want me to do more Witcher videos. I mean it. I love doing these. This is one of the main reasons I wanted to stream, so I can do games I love and stuff like that. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace.